Hello, I hope you're all well. I've got a little story for you today. It's only a short one, and I hope you like it. It starts like this. In a particular land, at the edge of a particular village, just where it met the edge of a particularly deep and dark forest, there was a house, and in that house lived a wise woman. Some people might have called her a witch, and she knew everything, or so it seemed. She knew when it was going to rain, when it was going to snow, or when the sun was going to shine. She knew how to birth calves and lambs and piglets. She knew what herbs to give ailing women. She knew how to dress chicken so it was tasty and moist. She knew how to cook the best cakes. She knew all the names of the herbs and the plants and the animals and the birds. And she just seemed to have all of this information into her head. Whatever you needed to ask her, she knew the answer. In that particular village, there was a group of young people, and one in particular, one young man, he just felt a bit irritated by this old woman. He felt a bit annoyed. Maybe she'd told him off at some point. I don't know. Maybe she'd said something to him that he didn't like. I couldn't tell you why, but she got under his skin. He said to his friends, she can't know everything. It's just not possible. She can't know everything. No one can know everything. I know. I'm going to test her. I'm going to prove to everybody that she's a fraud and that she doesn't know as much as she thinks she does. The boy arranged for his friends to meet him at the old woman's house that afternoon. He didn't go with them though. He walked a long way through the forest to her house. And whilst he was in the forest, he caught himself a little bird, a little sparrow, a little brown bird, and he held it tight within his hands. And when he got to the cottage, he put his hands behind his back. And his friends gathered around, and he looked at the old woman. All right, old lady, if you think you're so wise, if you think you know the answer to everything, then tell me, what am I holding in my hands? The woman looked at the young man, and she smiled at him, a little sadly. She looked and saw behind his back a little brown feather float to the ground. I never said I knew everything, but I do know that you have a little brown bird in your hands. All his friends started to laugh and giggle because they could see, and the boy grew angry and annoyed. Fine, he thought. I'm going to ask her if the bird is alive or dead. And if she says that the bird's alive, I'll break its neck and then she'll be wrong. And if she says it's dead, well, I'll just let it go. So he looked at the old woman. All right, old lady, fine, you're right. But you don't know everything. If you think you're so clever, then answer me this. Is the bird in my hands dead or alive? The old woman smiled at the young man, quite sadly this time. And she said to him, my boy, I never said I knew everything, but I do know that the answer is this, that whether that bird in your hands is dead or alive, it's as simple as this. The answer is in your hands. The answer was in his hands. The answer was up to him. It was up to him to make that choice. She couldn't answer. She kind of caught him out on that one. What do you think the boy did next? What do you think you might have done? This story is yours now. Draw it, write it, tell it to your sister or your brother or your mum or your dad. Do whatever you like. Be inspired by the stories that you hear. I'll see you soon, my friends. Stay safe and stay well. Goodbye.